You out here by yourself looking around like Alonzo at the end of training day.
You think you can do this to me?
Like you gotta feel as comfortable in this moment as Nicki Minaj at the Grammys after party. You looking around like, who haven't you attacked? Who haven't you attacked that you could rely on to comfortably get your back at a time like this? You know what? I got it, Pete. I got it. The fat soldiers. Yep. The fat soldiers. And you know what's better than a fat soldier? The only thing better than a fat soldier, a fat general. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. And don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics. Well, Trump, you remember last time when we were here discussing the Pete Hegseth situation?
2 survivors were clinging to the smoldering wreck. The Special Operations Commander ordered a second strike to comply with Hegseth's instructions. 2 people familiar with the matter said the 2 men were blown apart in the water. The commander overseeing the operation from Fort Bragg in North Carolina, Admiral Frank M. Mitch Bradley, told people on the secure conference call that the survivors were still legitimate targets because they could theoretically call other traffickers to retrieve them and their cargo, according to 2 people. He ordered the second strike to fulfill Hegseth's directive that everyone must be killed. Today, the White House press secretary, who has never conducted a press briefing without lying, said that Admiral Bradley issued the order for the second strike on his own without Pete Hegseth telling him to do that. And Donald Trump's first instinct, as we know, is always to lie about everything.
Mr. President, thank you so much for taking questions with your assembled cabinet. I wanted to clarify something that you had said on Sunday regarding the boat strikes near Venezuela. You had said that you didn't know if the second strike on that one boat had happened, but you wouldn't have wanted it. Now that your administration has acknowledged that it happened, do you support that second strike? And Mr. Secretary, I wanted to clarify something you had said in an interview back in September, I believe on Fox News. You said that you had watched that strike live on television. In real time, did you know that there were survivors after the initial strike?
Well, look, all I know is this. Every boat that you see get blown up, we save 25,000.
Well, a wise man once said, things fall apart. No, that's not about J.D. Vance's marriage. That's it. Oh, Kristi Noem's makeup artist said that too? No, it's not about neither one of those. It's about the whole administration. So actually, I guess it is also about those things. Pentagon watchdog finds Hegseth risked the safety of U.S. forces with use of Signal. A Pentagon watchdog has determined that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth risked the safety of U.S. service members by sharing sensitive military information on the Signal messaging app, according to a source that's reviewed the forthcoming Inspector General report. The report, which is expected to be released as early as Thursday, was launched after a journalist for The Atlantic revealed in March that he had been added to a chat on the encrypted messaging app in which Hegseth and other top officials were discussing plans for U.S. airstrikes against Houthi rebels in Yemen. Ah, yes, that was the first time we realized what a mistake DEI had made in presenting us Pete Hegseth, because he proceeded to go right in front of the media and try and cut a promo to defend himself loud and wrong. That's what they use. Loud and wrong. What a nasty combination. And you add that on top of what he got going on now. And how about the fact that ain't nobody feeling him?
Oh man, hey.
And Trump, I know your response to people being wildly unqualified for their positions is, wow, just like me. You know, we got something in common. Maybe we can go golfing together. I can fall asleep at the table. I know how much you love people that are unqualified and underqualified. But this is the thing. Your one requirement is that they have public support. Well,
yeah, this is not the first time that we have covered Pete Hegseth, and there's a reason why, and that is because he has simply put not been a popular guy in the American electorate. I mean, Pete Hegseth's net favorability in the last year, positive. There have been no polls in which his net favorability has been positive.
No polls? Like, not one? Not even a poll of his family? Oh, I forgot about all the ex-wives and all the stuff with he would have got unfavorable on the family one too.
He's out of line, but he's right.
I got this. How about the bar down the street from the Pentagon? I know he favorable at the bar down the street from the Pentagon. He got an open tab.
Every single poll that I could find in the Roper Center archives has his net favorability in the negative. From when Donald Trump first nominated him nearly a year ago or about a year ago to now, every single poll has found that the American people are more likely to dislike than like him. And the first poll that was taken found that the plurality of Americans said that the United States Senate should not confirm him to the post of Secretary of Defense.
Now, I don't recall really there ever being polls for the defense secretary or the secretary. Yeah. I don't recall a defense secretary ever being so unlikable that this is even a point of contention. Like I would expect that they probably aren't the most exciting people to sit down and have dinner with, but so aggressively unlikable as to be unfavorable in every poll. I'm sorry, ain't this the same dude during the confirmation hearing we heard about with all these women? His mom was complaining about how he treat women and this, that, and the other thing. But he's this unlikable, but women was really rocking with him like that? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, and in my experience, they go right together.
No polls?
No polls. Not a, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All of those are reputable polls in the Roper Center archive.
All right. Is that because people have no interest in Pete Hegseth?
No, this is the whole thing, which is that Pete Hegseth, I said at the beginning of this, has been generating so much interest, far more interest than the normal defense secretary. I was just interested in the polls that were asking the popularity rating of recent defense secretaries. There have been at least 10 in terms of Pete Hegseth. There were 0 for Lloyd Austin. Esper had 0. Mad Dog Jim Mattis had only 2. This is extremely unusual for a defense secretary to be generating this much interest, especially when we're not at a time of war. You have to go all the way back to Bob Gates to find this many polls asking about the popularity rating of a defense secretary. And of course, Bob Gates served 4 times as long so far as Pete Hegseth did. And of course, that was during a time of war.
So just to unpack this, we haven't been so insecure about our defense secretary since Bob Gates, who served 4 times as long and also served during a time of war. That's the last time we were this insecure. You sure y'all don't like him? You still don't like him? That's where we at with the defense secretary. I would also like to say the most shocking thing to me about that full screen. That Lloyd Austin had 0. That Lloyd Austin never would it like, are you sure he's okay? Like, I'm like, wow, okay. All right, okay. I give you credit, America, where it's due.
Okay, so given this new round of controversy swirling around Pete Hegseth, what are the markets saying about his chances of sticking around?
This is, I think, a great chance to use the prediction market odds. Chance to be the first to leave Trump's cabinet. Pete Hegseth, on Friday, it was just 18%. It's now doubled. It's now doubled to 35% given the recent controversy, John Berman. So a lot of folks out there who are putting their money where their mouth is think there's a far better chance that Pete Hegseth exits the cabinet now, being the first one, than back on Friday. And one last thing, Mr. Berman, just to put this into some perspective for you, the chance to be the first to leave Trump's cabinet, Pete Hegseth, 35%, Pam Bondi, just 10%. And then we've got this gentleman over here.
Steve Myron
At 8%.
Pam Bondi, like, I didn't even do nothing. Why I'm on the full screen? I didn't even do nothing. This Pete Hegseth. Well, Pam Bondi, this is what you can feel good about. Even last Friday, before all of the second strike scandal hit the proverbial fan, he was still higher than where you are right now at 18%. My man started at 18 and had a whole new controversy. That's where we at. We're our defense secretary, something light like that. Now, here's the thing, Pete Hegseth, because last time we were here, I talk about the aggressive lack of accountability that you show, really embodying the absolute worst when it comes to the military ethos, like all the things you sat there and tried to beat your chest about in front of the sleeping generals, just really compromising just about all the words that have come out of your mouth. But here's the thing. In a time like this, where you are on your heels and you need folks to get your back, who's that going to be? Who's that going to be? Huh? Who you leaning on for support, Pete Hegseth? It's not going to be the black soldiers. I can tell you that right now. Not after your aggressive anti-DEI push, as well as removing achievements of soldiers past and present from being displayed and celebrated in our military archives. We could say the same for the LGBTQ soldiers. We could say the same for the female soldiers. How about that? All these female firsts just randomly disappear. That's crazy. Well, they certainly not going to get your back. You out here by yourself looking around like Alonzo at the end of training day.
You think you can do this to me?
Like you gotta feel as comfortable in this moment as Nicki Minaj at the Grammys after party. You looking around like, who haven't you attacked? Who haven't you attacked that you could rely on to comfortably get your back at a time like this? You know what? I got it, Pete. I got it. The fat soldiers. Yep. The fat soldiers. And you know what's better than a fat soldier? The only thing better than a fat soldier, a fat general. How about a fat general? See if any of those fat generals will get your back.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look.
But naturally, the one who you really need to impress is Donald Trump. And you tell me, looking at Donald Trump's history, whether or not he's going to put himself on the line for you. Yeah, tell me the time that he has owned anything. This man don't even own what he looks like, okay? He don't even own his own medical records. You want him to own this for you? Really? Especially considering, and Trump, I'm gonna go ahead and have to bring you back right now. So just in case you were considering protecting Pete, because I know that's the natural fallback. Protect Pete. Let's throw Cash under the bus. I know Cash somewhere smiling. Just in case you wanted to protect Pete, you ain't got it.
Give us the goods on what this new Gallup poll says.
I mean, it's a disaster if it holds towards the midterm elections. And I should note, of course, it's not alone. I mean, just take a look here. This is Gallup. This is the longest running poll. You know, Gallup has been conducting polls since my father was a kid. And my father was born in 1927, had me in his 60s.
I'm sorry, did you say 1927? He had you in his 60s? What was his diet? What? Now just put it in an email. Just put it in an email for me.
Look at this. In January, Donald Trump's net approval rating, not too bad, not too great. It was at -1 point, right within the margin of error, breaking even. But look at this now. Negative 24 points, way down. We're talking about a drop of over 20 points in the wrong direction for the President of the United States. Minus 24 points, that's a 23-point move in the incorrect direction if you're the president. And of course, what's so important here, Sarah Seidner, is it matches the trend that we've seen with other polls. That is Donald Trump hitting his low for the second term. I was doing the count last night. I think we're up to 10 polls in sort of the last 40 days, 10 different pollsters who have said that Trump is at the lowest point he is in his second term.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me he started at -1 in January, which already is crazy for a number of reasons. One being that the man just started and he was already in the minus. That's wild. How you get elected? You already in the minus. Okay. How about the fact that you have lost 23 points since January, when you had all three branches of government and both houses of Congress to ram through your agenda? You have lost 23 points since January. I don't know an indictment louder than that. What do they like to say? A mandate? What's the opposite of that, Trump? What's the antonym to mandate? It means the opposite word, the opposite of synonym. Synonym is like a word that's, you know what? You know what it is. You know exactly how you lose that many points since January. What he think he the Washington Commanders?
So how does this compare to other presidents in their second term at this point in time?
Yeah, okay. So, this is one of these great examples where I kind of run out of room on the slide.
You sure did.
Yeah, I run out of room on the slide, so I just put up the Republican presidents. But look, the only one who's worse for me, either among Republicans or Democrats at this point in his second term, is Richard Nixon. And of course, Richard Nixon had to wave adios amigos goodbye less than a year after this poll was taken. He was at minus 36 points. Trump at minus 24 points. That beats, or is worse, I should say, beats in the wrong direction. George W. Bush, minus 19 points. His Republican Party, of course, suffered major losses in the 2006 midterm elections. Dwight Eisenhower, plus 31 points. Donald Trump has never smelt that at all. I had to go into the archives to dig up that photo. And Ronald Reagan at plus 41 points. But again, it also is worse than Harry S. Truman. It's worse than Lyndon Baines Johnson. It's worse than Barack Obama. It's worse than Bill Clinton. Anywhere you look, this is the second worst for a president of either party at this point in their second term, dating all the way back since the 1940s.
Trump, not only are you minus 24, you can't even say you the worst. I know how much pride you have to say you the worst, but Nixon has taken that away from you. Honestly, I think, to quote the great Vince Carter, I think you got one more in you. I think you got one more in you. You can hit that minus 36. You can hit that you can hit that minus 36. And not only that, you can get packed up before he did. You got time to do both of those, Trump. Now, keeping Pete aboard would probably be a start to that, honestly. It's up to you. It's what direction you want to move in.
All right, look, what does this mean for the midterms? Because are you seeing a trend that it's linked to how people feel about the president?
Yeah, okay. So, we always say, hey, look, we still got 11 months until the midterm elections.
We still say what now? Is that what we say? Is that how we sound?
That's forever in politics. So I decided to go back and look at this point in the second term. What happened What was the trend line heading into the midterm elections? Were there any presidents who saw their net approval ratings rise by more than 5 points? Well, guess what, Sarah Sider? You go all the way back since Harry S. Truman. 0 out of 8 times did the president's net approval rating rise by over 5 points. And of course, Donald Trump, right now in Gallup, minus 24 points. He's in the minus teens according to the average. If he does not see a rise of more than 5 points, see you later, that Republican majority. It has never happened. Of course, we live in such a weird time in politics.
We are in a
Who knows?
weird time.
We live in a weird time,
We
but
are.
he's going to have to break history, Sarah Sider.
All right. So Trump, basically, you can make history by doing something that no president has done, by rising by at least 5 points between now and the midterms. That would be for the party. You know what I mean? That would be for the party. We know about your affinity for the party. We know about your loyalty to the party and your care about the brand of the party. We know how much you care about the party. Here's what you can do for you, though. You can have your name right at the bottom of that list. Don't let Nixon take you out, man. Don't let Nixon take you out, man. Not only, because right now, Nixon feeling himself like, hey, I'm the only president that got packed up. I'm the only president that got packed up. I was at minus 36. He feeling himself. You can take that away from him. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. What are you concerned about? Oh, the Tennessee election? Oh, no. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. You know what? I got something for you.
Republicans should be running for the hills this morning because the blue wave is building, my dear friend, Mr. Berman. What are we talking about here? Well, Matt Van Epps, the Republican candidate, he won it by 9, but this is a district that Donald Trump won by 22 points, 15 points, 17 points. This is a 13-point gain for the Democrats in terms of the margin, and excuse time for Republicans is over because I hear all about these special elections. Oh, the turnout's so low. It's not representative of what happened in the midterm election. The turnout last night in Tennessee's 7th district was equal to the turnout in the 2022 midterm election. So the blue wave, it seems to be building right out of center of Tennessee.
We need to get Harry Enton to talk to Steve Kornacki. Yeah, no, because Steve Kornacki was trying to make us depressed on my live. He was trying to bring down he was hating on the live. You know what I mean? He was hating on the live. I like this energy from Harry Enton. Now, let's not get too, you know what I mean? I see what you see, but let's keep it low. Maybe that's what Steve was doing. Maybe Steve was trying to keep it in the weeds. He would have a whole different explanation for his family and friends. I need to get on the family and friends, Steve Kornacki. That's what I need.
Interesting. I mean, so in terms of the numbers, the turnout looked like a regular midterm election, not a special election.
Exactly right. And of course, we have, what, about 11 months?
All right. What have we seen in terms of trends in all the special elections the last year?
Okay. I wouldn't necessarily give a hoot and a hollering about one special election in Tennessee. I love the people in Central Tennessee.
Give a hoot and a holler. We want a hoot and a holler.
But Central Tennessee is nothing special compared to the rest of the country. But what we see happening is, take a look here. Okay, 2025 U.S. House special elections. Dems outrunning Kamala Harris. A lot of blue here. A lot of blue, which is what I think the nation might look like a year from now if these results hold.
Did you have to put it as Dems outrun Harris? You had to put it like that? You couldn't say shift in attitudes and tones in the last. She didn't deserve a stray.
Arizona 7, you see a 17 outperformance of Kamala Harris. 23 points in Florida 1, 16 points in Florida 6, 13 points in Tennessee 7, 28 points in Texas 28, and then 17 points in Virginia 11.
Freedom! Freedom! Virginia was speaking!
I am speaking! USA! USA! USA!
So we've seen it throughout the nation, whether you go from the suburbs of Washington, D.C., all the way to southwest to the Southwest and Arizona, whether you're looking at Texas, whether you're looking at Tennessee, whether you go down to Florida, we have seen the Democratic outperformance of Kamala Harris happening across the political map. What happened last night in Tennessee ain't just staying in Tennessee. It is spreading itself throughout the nation. As I said, to me, looking at these results, it looks like a blue wave is building.
And it's not just that it's blue, it's that it's double-digit blue.
It is
exactly
right. It's double-digit blue. I will note, I looked at the stats. If, in fact, you had a 13-point shift like we saw in Tennessee, and you applied that to the 2024 presidential map, we are talking about a gain for Democrats of north of 40 seats.
40 seats? 40 seats? Man. That's more people than a Commanders game. That's crazy. 40 seats. That's pretty good. Hey, Tennessee, y'all slacking. Y'all slacking at 13. Ain't no way Texas gonna be plus 28, y'all plus 13. Do better.
All right, in terms of the history, what does this mean as we project forward?
Okay, so we're looking at these special elections, we're sort of applying these hypothetical numbers, right, in terms of, Democrats would gain north of 40 seats if, you moved everything over, 13 points from the 2024 presidential result. But we actually have history to show that what happens in special elections doesn't just stay in special elections. It spills over to the midterm results. Special elections and midterm results. I just keep going to this. When a party outperformed in special elections since 2005, 5 out of 5 times, they went on to win a majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. What happened last night in Tennessee is a very, very bad omen for Republicans and a very, very good omen for Democrats.
Harry Etten, thank you very much.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure they understand all of this, which is why you see how aggressive these gerrymandering efforts are. And look no further than Tennessee 7 to see the effects of gerrymandering and what they did to Nashville. That should be its own video. The fact that is still a thing is absolutely maddening. But long story short, Trump, you do not have the political capital to keep Pete. And I know how much you love to throw people up under the bus. So go ahead in that basement and dig out that bus thrower. Go in the basement, dig out that bus. It's under them wigs. Under them wigs, you go get that bus thrower, dust it off, and bring it back into the West Wing. It's time. That is, unless you want to come get Nixon. You know what I mean? Yeah, unless you want to come get Nixon, which one, whatever you choose, you like it, I love it. You like it, I love it. That's the hand we got right now. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I hope you had a beautiful start to your holiday season. Also, shout out to everybody that took advantage of our holiday sale over at the People's Get Up and ReeseWaters.com. And if you didn't, look on the bright side. At least you didn't wait in line for one of them Target bags.
Kind of done, but I really want to do this. So I'm so excited to show you what I got in my Target grab bag this year. I waited all night so I could get this. Okay, so the first thing I got was, they hate you.
But there is good news to all my members out there. Be on the lookout for your discount code for merch, which will extend beyond the holidays.
Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
Also extending beyond the holidays, this malfunctioning administration. And sometimes I just can't wait for the whole process in order to talk down on DEI hires. So I'm going to roll out breaking news. Be on the lookout for those. The thumbnails will look a little bit different. I might look a little, no, I'm gonna look the same. I'm gonna look exactly the same. Oh, that must be some fan art. Hey Reese, I watch your show every night. I love what you're doing and how you conduct yourself. Please send me your address so I can send you this picture that I did. See the attached. Thank you, Renisa. Oh, now look at that. No, that's me. That was me. It don't look. In the multiverse. In the multiverse, I'm a prince from Africa. Wakanda. Well, thank you so much, Renisa. I very much appreciate it. And to the rest of you, feel free to send me whatever you got to admin@reesewaters.com. But not perishables. Don't send me perishables. For that, you just donate that to Ray J. Yeah. Who get arrested on Thanksgiving? I mean, really?